Counselor? There's a raccoon stuck in the vending machine.
That's so annoying. I wanted a snack.
Welcome to Trail Mix.
Our mini episodes from Camp Counselors podcast.
Each week, the stories come from you, our Camp Shady Birch campers.
We want to hear your juicy gossip,
Top secret confessions,
embarrassing and scary stories,
and sprinkle in our sage counselor advice.
Trail Mix is for the campers.
And God, do we love ya. Hey, happy campers. Welcome back to Trail Mix. Sorry.
This is our mini episode where we read listeners submitted stories brought to you by listeners like you. Thank you.
How's everyone doing today? Doll check-in, camper check-in. Is everyone doing okay?
I'm doing fine. I'm trying to pretend that it's not 1,000,000 degrees. And I know we keep saying it, but we're bulk recording and it's during a heat wave. We don't have AC in here, okay?
Well, you broke my heart this afternoon.
How?
You did. And I'm gonna air my grievances out because this is Trail Mix and I want to just say how I'm feeling.
Say how you're feeling.
I, in my head, thought we were going to record these episodes and then celebrate with a nice lunch out. It's a Sunday, and I thought that would be a cute activity for us to do. And while I was on the Peloton, I came downstairs and I was like, oh, like, let's record the episodes and get lunch. And you were like, oh, I ate my leftover Chinese food for lunch. And that hurt. And I'm hurt because now we can't get lunch.
Had you had mentioned something, I would have known. But I got off the Peloton and I'm going to be honest, my blood sugar was low.
Yeah, I know.
So I had to heat up my Chinese food, which was delicious. I think today's probably I was pushing it with how long it's been in the fridge. But I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. It hurt me that you didn't include me in your lunch plans.
You ate the rest of your Chinese food. I wasn't included in that.
Yesterday, that's a different day.
Oh, okay.
You were
this campers.
No, well, what am I doing for lunch now? No, alone for sure.
Okay, we also had to record 2 of these episodes, and it's hot. So am I going to be grumpy and hangry?
I'm starving. It's 1:33. I haven't eaten a damn thing today.
I didn't take a fork out of your mouth.
I'm pushing through.
Hey, you're pushing P, and you're pushing my buttons, bitch.
I'm pushing P, and I'm ready to get into today's episode because we have fantastic stories for you guys.
Let's talk about him.
I'll do them hungry. I have a story about a camper doing a 5K in the buff.
A dresser drawer bunk bed catastrophe of 95.
Oh my God. And then I have a camper whose crummy mess launched a family fight at the Olive Garden.
And an unexpected visit from an excommunicated grandpa.
Wow. Let's get into it, campers. This is a really big secret. Thank God we're on a body of water. This is Confession Canoe. Welcome back to Confession Canoe, campers. This is when you bring your deepest, darkest secrets to the camp, and we spread them kind of like wildfire, honestly.
Like wildflowers.
But it's about yourself. It's about yourself. That's what Confession Canoe is about. It's not Gossip Doc. That's about somebody else. This is your own truth. I have 2 today, so I'm going to do a double feature.
Okay, I'm going to put my iPad down because it's making me sticky.
No, I get it. I'll go first. Okay, so hey, happy counselors.
Hi.
I'm a millennial mom who found you both on Instagram and was thrilled when I learned you had a podcast. I listen to you guys on my way to work commute, and you bring so much laughter and light to my life. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
About 6 years ago, I had just started dating this guy. Let's call him Jack, my now husband. I was online looking for something outdoorsy and fun to do together. I saw that there was a naked 5K occurring about an hour away from where we lived in Virginia. I had heard of naked 5Ks before, where people wear spandex and cute push-up bras for breast cancer awareness, so I decided to sign us up thinking it would be cute, early date idea. Have you ever heard about like a naked 5K?
I've heard of like naked like parades and like biking things because I walked outside of a store in Philly and there was one occurring and I was like, took me by surprise.
Was it truly naked?
Yes.
That's crazy in the city of Philadelphia to be doing that because that seems inappropriate.
Yeah. Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. There was a girl on roller skates who was just like really shaking her yabos and I was cheering her on.
Yeah.
She had a whistle.
That's like, I've heard of like the sexy 5K races for breast cancer awareness where people kind of do get a little like more like ooh la la, which is like a fun, like glam way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But the day comes and our camper is wearing mostly a flattering spandex shorts with a new hot red push-up bra, feeling like a wannabe Victoria's Secret angel.
I feel like I know where this is going.
We drive an hour out into the country. Weird place for a big event like this, but who am I to judge? We finally arrive at our destination and are greeted by a giant Jurassic Park-looking wooded gate. Written on the gate in red letters is, "Welcome all to Nudist Resort." We froze, speechless as our brains wrapped around the situation we have found ourselves in. What the fuck? Who knows these places actually exist? Especially out in the sticks in Virginia. Well, that kind of makes sense. I think those places do exist and they are out in like the wilderness. We had two choices. Turn around and go home or ring the buzzer. Counselors, I had to find out what was behind those pearly gates. We rang the buzzer and we were let in.
I can't. Sorry, I'm looking it up on Google. They have good reviews. They have 4.5 stars out of 278 reviews.
That's good. That's really good. It was like entering an alternative universe. People lived there full time. They were gardening nude, riding bikes nude, playing badminton nude. It was incredible. I didn't want to stare at people, but I couldn't look away. I would be gawking. I'm so inappropriate. You could not take me somewhere like that. I can't take it seriously.
No.
Okay, so one thing we did notice was that we were by far the youngest people there. That makes sense. We parked and Jack told me that we could turn around and leave at any time. I told him I just wanted to sit and observe for a minute.
She's like, I'm just going to sneak a peek.
She's like, okay, I need to figure out how I feel about all this because there's a lot to process here. So after about 10 minutes of taking in my surroundings, I decided we're going to do this. We had a bottle of vodka in the back of the car from a concert we had gone to the prior week. We took a few shots, probably warm, oh my God, took off everything except our sneakers and walked over to the check-in tent.
I can't believe this is happening. I'm like sweating.
I know. We were given a complimentary towel to sit on that said bare butts with a cute little picture of a bear and a free t-shirt.
Very cute.
We lined up for the 5K and did the damn thing. Yabos flapping in the wind.
Wow.
Jack bouncing and slapping around. We pushed through.
Oh my God.
Throughout the race, groups of naked grannies would be lined up passing out shots of fireballs, small cups of margaritas, and buttery nipples. Of course, we had to sample them all.
Ooh.
You guys are like living. You guys are really going in for it. They're like, we're just going to really just commit to the bit. This is like so fun.
You didn't have to, but you're doing it. And that's just you're living your life.
After the race, there was an award ceremony where I came in first place for my age group.
Wow.
Pretty sure I was the only female there in my age group.
But hey, congrats, camper.
She said, I proudly walked up and accepted my medal in the nude.
Hell yeah.
We haven't really told anyone about this out of fear of judgment, I suppose.
How fun.
But I felt that Camp Shady Birch was a safe space to share our experience.
Hell yeah, it is. I love that.
I'm obsessed with this because you're like, whatever, we're being creepy. Like,
but what a fun secret for just you and your husband to have too. Like it's not, you don't have to keep it a secret. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but it's like kind of fun that you're just like, oh, not only did I run a 5K and come in first place in my age group, but we were completely naked.
I know. So overall, nudity is such a normal thing in their day-to-day lives that after about 30 minutes, I felt totally comfortable there. That's what I always hear about places like this. Mm-hmm. It wasn't sexual at all, just everyone in their natural form. Do I have a desire to go back? Absolutely not. But they did try to recruit Jack and I for their volleyball league, so I'm sure they'd welcome us back with open arms if we ever change our minds. Sincerely, the nudist camper with a slight buzz and shiny metal in cabin 8.
Wow. Come on, cabin 8.
Thank you for sharing that with us because we did really appreciate that. And that's a really fun memory. So I appreciate you bringing that to the table because we love that.
Wait, that is so fun. I love that. Also, we did have to pause for a moment. We edited it out, so I didn't have to say this, but the ice cream man was going by, and I did a little research during our downtime, and I found their reviews. Like, they're mostly good, as I said, but I was reading through them. Someone reviewed 1 star and said, "Weird is an understatement. This is a place for retirees to show their rotting bodies." The resort owner commented back and said, "Someday you will be that person."
Period.
And there's another one where, okay, there's got to be a story here because the person's name is up here and it says 3 stars, nice place. Unfortunately, staff is less than pleasant. And then the resort owner commented back and said, "This staff here is very pleasant. However, we will remind guests of the rules when needed or when broken, as we had to do with guest." So sounds like she was breaking some rules there.
Yeah.
They had to put their foot down. But if we're ever in Virginia, I almost said Virginia. I got it on the mind.
Do you want to go to the nudist resort?
I don't.
Me either.
No, I don't.
But I want to hear more stories about them, so send those in. Jack's flapping and slapping.
That's gotta hurt.
She's got her yawas whapping and tapping.
It's gotta hurt everybody. But I mean, people choose to do it.
Yeah, well, that's your truly Mother Nature natural form.
Yeah, I just like to keep my luggage secured.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have another for your double feature?
A double feature, another confession canoe.
This episode of Camp Counselors is sponsored by BetterHelp. I love social media. I can be scrolling for hours, just giggling and kicking my little feet, sending videos to counselors Zachariah and other friends. But sometimes I end up comparing myself to others and what they're posting online. It's a tale as old as time. And it's totally not productive since social media posts, as we all know, are highlight reels. And let's be honest, campers, comparison is the thief of joy. But we're human. Sometimes we can't help it. Therapy can help you focus on what you want instead of what others have, so you can start living your best life. Personally, I've learned so much in therapy. Not only did I learn how to set boundaries and form better relationships with others, but I also learned how to focus on me. I learned how to do me and what I want so I can be living my best life. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's done entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Stop comparing and start focusing with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/camp to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/CAMP to get 10% off your first month.
So this one goes, hey, happy counselors. I was binge watching Trail Mix episodes when I heard the story about how a hot dog caused family drama, and it reminded me of a similar family story. Do you remember that one?
Oh yeah, where she like lied.
She's like she didn't tell the babysitter that other person wanted a hot dog, and then they were like, why is my kid being fed? And it was like a huge family feud for
because
like
they thought the babysitter wasn't feeding the kid.
Yeah, and they like excommunicated her from the family, and that was just her not telling the truth.
This is so much hot dog talk. This is episode number 3.
Yeah, well, it's the summer, and summer's bringing out the gaggers.
Oh right.
Yeah, we even talked about Jack's gagger. Sorry, that was inappropriate. So this story goes back to when I was a young child. I think I was around 7. We were visiting Alabama, visiting my mom's side of the family. We were at my aunt and uncle's house, and I was sitting on their couch eating a granola bar while me and my uncle were watching slideshows of family pictures on the TV. Sounds weird, but my uncle is a weird guy, and he was making tons of jokes about the family members he didn't like. I was entertained, so I sat there for a while. She's like a little kid. She's like, yeah, roast them, bitch.
So he's literally just talking shit on a PowerPoint presentation?
It's just the two of them in the room.
Nice.
She's literally 7 years old, and he's like, and this bitch right here, this is your great aunt, my Aunt Marge, okay? And she's a wild bat. And she's like, yay!
What's infidelity?
Eventually, my mom came to get me because it was time for us to leave and head back to the hotel. I got up, headed to the kitchen to grab my backpack, and when I came back to the living room, my aunt and 2 cousins were standing around the seat where I was sitting. Now, they didn't know I was the one sitting there because they came into the room after I got up. They were all standing there trying to figure out who left the granola bar crumbs and wrapper. It probably was a Nature Valley.
Giving Nature Valley. Come on, that shit still crumbles.
You cannot eat a Nature Valley bar and not make a mess.
They changed their formula a couple years ago because it became a meme of how crumbly that shit was. But to me, it's quite literally the same.
Yeah, I love the taste of them. They are really tasty, but it's too much of a commitment.
I did have, very similar to my overnight oats spurt that I had. I used to take the peanut butter Nature Valley bars, and I would crumble it into a thing of yogurt, and I would just eat it.
Delicious.
Yeah, it's the texture it got me there.
Yeah, because it's the soft and the crunch.
And the peanut butter salty sweet.
No, I get it. So they're all standing there looking at the crumbs and the wrappers. My uncle then walks over, points at her cousin, and says, I bet he did it. He always leaving the mess around where he eats. She said, feel free to do your funniest Southern accent while trying to say that. So I really tried it.
It was good.
Then my cousin shouts back, that was me. I was outside. My cousin and my uncle start arguing about it, and I stood there not saying anything because I was shy and nervous.
And she was the one who did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because she was shy. And nervous.
Okay, but also it's not her fault that it elevated from 0 to 1,000%. Our camper was a child and was just snacking on some stuff while
like
Gampy was talking shit.
She should have said it was her, but like we're not.
She didn't have time. She couldn't get her. Literally, think about how fast it elevated. And she's like, if I'm the one who's taking the fall, this is the wrath that is already elevating.
Yeah, like, don't get yourself involved at this point.
Yeah, I'd blame someone else too.
So my mom and I end up leaving the house, and I didn't see them again until the next day when we all went out to eat with them before we left town. The final supper, if you will. I noticed my cousin and uncle acting weird at the dinner that night. All hell broke loose when my cousin ended up getting the wrong order and asked my uncle if he could tell the waiter.
Oh.
My uncle slammed his cup down and yelled, "You're 12 years old. You can do it yourself." Now, slammed, like made a scene. Now the whole restaurant is looking at our table because my uncle and cousin are yelling at each other. And what do you think gets brought up during this argument?
The crumbs.
The granola bar crumbs. My uncle is mad because my cousin still won't admit he left the crumbs. And my cousin is mad because my uncle won't listen when he tells him he didn't do it. My aunt was so desperately trying to get them to stop screaming at each other in the restaurant, she ended up making my uncle go sit in the car while we all finished eating. That's how bad it was.
No,
he had to remove himself.
Uncle has anger issues.
He does. He does.
For this story to start unprompted, he's just talking shit on all the family. Like, he just really needs to sit and speak with somebody. BetterHelp.com /counselors.
But for Auntie to be like, Unky, go in the car. I'm not doing this at the Olive Garden.
Yeah.
This is too much. We're on soup, salad, and breadsticks, and you're on your third bowl, and it ends there. So she ended up making my uncle go sit in the car. We didn't see them in person again for a while, so I'm not sure how long the argument lasted for. But I do know who really left the crumbs on the couch that fateful day. Signed, the granola bar girl and Cabin 70.
Wait. She never saw them again?
No, it's been a long time.
Oh.
And I'm getting the hint that she's never brought it up. And you know what? This is why you had to come here. Because you had to confess your sins on the canoe. And we're paddling to shore, and we'll never talk about it again. Only to the tens of thousands of people that listen to this podcast, they're fully aware.
We'll keep an eye on you when you go to the vending machine. Just, dust off those crumbs wherever you're sitting.
Yeah, if we see crumbs on the Adirondack chairs, we're coming for you in Cabin 70. So thank you.
Scary stories around the campfire.
Hi, guys. It's me. Just in time for scary stories.
Boo.
Thank you so much, Zach, for reading those. You must be winded. Take a load off.
I will, and I'll let you take a load on.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, guys. This is Scary Stories. This is an embarrassing story or an actually scary story that's ghost-related, paranormal-related, any way you interpret a scary story. Go ahead and send it in, camcounselorspodcast.com or camcounselorspod@gmail.com. I've got 2 stories. Let's get into it. Hey, cutie counselors.
Hey.
Opening line. Sleeping in drawers is not for humans. Like any child of the 90s, I was immersed in the high-quality programming of channels like Nickelodeon, Disney, and PBS Kids. I was a very creative and theatrical kid. Hi, Drama Club.
This is so you.
I know. Did I write this in? And would relish in all things television and acting. I got lots of insane ideas from watching cartoons, and although my mom has said that she didn't think she let me watch too much TV as a kid, I fully contribute these types of shows to the creativity, ingenuity, and humor I had as a child and into my teen and adult years.
I love that. That's fun.
One of these insane ideas came directly from Nickelodeon, particularly the show Rocko's Modern Life. Love that show. One of the main characters in the episode ended up sleeping in a drawer of their bedside table. So essentially like a trundle drawer, but instead of it being a drawer under the bed that has a mattress in it, just a dresser drawer. You know what we're talking about, right? SpongeBob did that too. So naturally, I was like, I need to try this. This is revolutionary. I thought it would be funny and silly to curl up in a drawer of my dresser and have my mom come in and see me and think, wow, what a hilarious and wacky daughter I have. How does she keep cranking out hit after hit? So stupid.
Wow. Look at my kooky daughter in the drawer.
She has her arms crossed and she's like, well, what's she gonna do next?
That is you.
Okay. I was probably about 8 or 9 years old at the time. Definitely old enough to know better. I go to my room.
I can picture this entire thing.
I go to my room. I pull out the bottom drawer of my dresser, which, because it was the 90s, was a hand-me-down from a relative. So to say the least, it was rickety. I fluffed up 2 of my favorite pillows and smushed them in the drawer. Then, with pure glee on my face, I slowly lowered myself into the drawer, awaiting the adorable little situation I was about to be in. This is so funny. Okay. Well, as soon as I put any type of weight in the drawer, the entire dresser came crashing down on top of me. Oh my God. Yes, as a parent now, I know it should have been tethered to the wall, but it was 1995. There were no rules.
I know. It's crazy that you have to do that now as a parent. Like every bookshelf has to be drilled into the wall.
Yeah.
But not when we were growing up. Absolutely not.
No. Yeah, no. It definitely should have been, though. Luckily, the dresser wasn't insanely heavy, but was heavy enough to pin me down. So there I was, pinned underneath this dresser. My dreams of sleeping in a drawer crushed.
Literally.
Like her ribs. Something I need to add. On top of the dresser, I had a statue of the Virgin Mary that my grandmother had given me. I was fake religious at the time, and to please my parents, I kept the statue there. Well, of course, when the dresser fell, so did Virgin Mary. There I am, still pinned under the dresser. My mom had been in the shower when she heard the crash. She came barreling in like a bat out of hell in her towel. She sees me under the dresser, looks at the whole situation, and the first thing she screams is, "Oh my God, the statue." Thanks for your concern, Teresa. Don't worry, we've followed up all camp first aid protocol, and somehow I was completely fine, and so was the Virgin Mary. I still tell this story often because I do enjoy rubbing it in my mom's face that she cared a little bit more about a porcelain woman than her very own daughter. Love you both so much. And then she didn't have a sign off, but I thought that was fun.
I know. I feel like based on that story, you have more stories. I'd love to hear more about your childhood because you're just a wacky one. I love when she's about to get into this adorable situation.
She's like, oh, mother's gonna love this one.
Mom's like, the doll.
Hey girlies, I'm Cody Rigsby.
And I'm Andrew Chappelle.
We're here to announce our brand new podcast,
Tactful Pettiness, now on Podcast One.
We have a lot of opinions. Flip-flops in New York City? You don't love yourself.
If I'm not seated, I'm not tipping.
Do I want to see a picture of your baby?
No. If I have to scroll more than 10 seconds, he's not cute.
Settling gets you an ugly boyfriend. So we're going to help you out.
We sure are, because we have the life expertise.
We have mastered throwing shade with intention.
We are in the business of helping you find and keep your man.
And we're here to teach you the fine art of tactful pettiness.
Join us each week as we traverse the world of pop culture,
chat with our celebrity friends,
and show you how to accept yourself without taking life too seriously.
Get new episodes of Tactful Pettiness with me, Cody Rigsby.
And me, Andrew Chappelle.
Every Thursday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and anywhere you get your podcasts.
Stay petty, bestie.
Ready for scary story number 2?
Yes, please.
Howdy, counselors.
Howdy, partner.
I have a bit of a spooky story for you that also has a kind of sweet touch.
Oh.
Growing up, my father had a very strained relationship with his parents, so I only saw them a handful of times. And those times usually ended up with a fight and a screaming match and leaving us in a huff. Until my parents finally gave up and cut them out of our lives completely. It was upsetting because I wanted to get to know my grandparents, but never really could. I know both parties are probably at fault, but I still have never gotten the whole story. That's the complicated things with families. I feel like there's nooks and crannies of every family that you just, you're not going to understand why they operate the way that they do. Anyway, years go by, I graduate college, and I am a full working adult. One night, I have a dream that my entire family is over for holiday. We're all sitting at a large table, talking and eating when the doorbell rings. I get up to answer the door, and I see my estranged grandfather standing there. I smile, I give him a hug, and I say it's so great to see him. He looks at me in disbelief and says, "Really?" I said, "Of course, you're always welcome here." He smiled and thanked me with tears in his eyes.
Oh.
I woke up realizing it was just a dream, and that was that. Later that day, my mom called me at work. She was letting me know that my grandfather had passed away last night. Suddenly, my dream made a whole lot of sense. Was he popping back in for closure? Was he able to cross over knowing that I didn't hate him? Who knows, but I hope he's well wherever he is. Sincerely, the estranged granddaughter in cabin 13, which everyone knows is haunted. That was really sweet, Camper. That was really sweet.
Wait, that's crazy. And this is why I do believe in paranormal stuff like that. Like that can't be a coincidence.
Yeah,
There is like, he was coming to talk to you and trying to get some closure. And I think you did exactly what he needed. Oh my
how
God.
sweet is that?
I know. And it's kind of really sad, the whole thing, because like,
Yeah, it is sad, but it's like you held no, anguish. You didn't hold anything against him.
yeah, exactly. And I'm sure he appreciates that. And I'm sure you get to go to bed sleeping good at night. You know what I mean? Because it's like, the grudge is never worth it, everybody. You know what I mean? It's sometimes easier to forgive and move on than to hold the weight of a grudge. But I'm glad that you guys got that closure. That's like not spooky, but like crazy.
Well, campers, again, thank you so much for writing in and making this trail mix a great, nutritious episode. We should start saying that. What the fuck?
Oh my God, I'm fulfilled. I'm actually not even hungry anymore.
Nourished all over my body because I had microwave Chinese food before this. I know. We'll go out to eat. How about that? I'll go out. I'll get a nice pop, a soda pop, and I'll watch ya.
Oh, I love that. I love when you watch me eat.
And I won't blink.
And then I'm going to run home naked.
We'll make sure we find a restaurant 5K away.
Slopping and papping like Jack.
Oh my God. Well, thank you guys again so much for listening. If you want us to read your story, write us in at campcounselorspodcast.com or campcounselorspod@gmail.com. And leave us a 5-star rating and review. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, and with that being said, lights out, campers.